Hey YouTube. So I know that once again I'm late, but I'm not as late as I was the last time. I just been having a lot going on. But anywho, I'm here to do review for If Loving You Is Wrong, season 3, episode 5, which is titled An Unlikely Suspect. Okay, so the episode picks up where it left off, where Alex crashed her car into the tree. Now, of course, this is because she had just gotten off the phone with Brad and he's very upset with her. He's ignoring her. Nobody is there for her in this moment of panic right now. So she crashes into the tree. She gets out the car. Then she says, "My phone, my phone." And I'm thinking, I never saw you look for your phone. Like, is your phone in the dashboard or something? Why can't you hurry up and get your phone? But whatever the case, the car catches on fire and she's just like, I'm out of here. So she disappears into the woods. Okay, so then it goes into the next scene, which is Marcie. So Marcie and Kelly, they had decided to go outside because, of course, they think that Brad may be a suspect and they have to give the detective as much information as they can. So she goes and tells the suspect, hey, I actually do have a little bit more information to tell you. Brad did come home tonight. I noticed that I didn't know where he was. He said he was at some mountains or something, and but I did notice that he had mud on his boots and the mud was red and the mud up there is brown. So yeah, that's some suspicious behavior right there. So of course the police is like, thanks for letting us know. If you know anything else, let me know. We're gonna go there and find him right now. Okay, so then we know from last week, Esperanza, she had actually showed up to the crime scene. Well, apparently she was there to identify Randall by looking at pictures and confirming that that is him, so they know who they're looking for. Okay, so of course she goes up to Kelly and to Marcie just to kind of like try to see what's going on. They talk to her for a little bit, and then, as usual, she always finds her way back to Eddie. Like, for somebody that you hate so much, you surely do have some type of private conversation with him at all times. Like, I think that she enjoys this cat and mouse game with him. Just the fact that she knows that he's going to comment on her body in some type of way or come on to her, I think she like relishes in it. But whatever the case, she's talking to him and she's like, Eddie, I know that you have something to do with this. So you just need to tell me what happened, because Brad couldn't have done all of this himself. Did you see all that blood in that house? Nobody could have survived that. There's an innocent baby involved in this. You tell me what you have to do with this. And Brad is like, no, calm your little sweetheart down. I don't have anything to do with this. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. So, of course, she argues with him for another good 10 minutes just so she can be in his face, and then she leaves. Okay, so Eddie then gets into his car. The detective told Eddie that, hey, you need to go to, I think it's Branyan Mountain or some mountains that Marcie said that Brad was at earlier that night, and you need to go and shut it off before anybody gets there. I don't want anybody messing with evidence. I need you to block it off. So Eddie says, okay, I'm on it. But of course he's not moving. Now, mind you, the detective told him to do this before Esperanza even came to talk to him. So Eddie is just taking his sweet precious time. Why? Well, this is because he decides to call Brad, and he's like, look, Brad, you are my dude, okay? We are like close. And I know you did something. I know you killed them. Just let me know where the bodies are. I'll get rid of them. Let me help you, okay? If you were planning to just like cut them off like that, then you should have told me, okay? I could have had a better plan. We could have done this together. You could have gotten away with it. Of course, Eddie is a snake. So of course he thinks like that. Brad is on the other line like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, I really didn't do anything. What are you talking about? Then Eddie says, are you kidding me? And then he said, no, who are you even talking about? He said, Randall and the baby. Okay? The baby was kidnapped. Randall's gone. I know it was you. Just tell me where the bodies are. Tell me where you stashed them, where you hid them away, so I can get rid of them, and then you won't get caught. Meanwhile, you need to leave your house because the police are on their way. They're coming to get you. Look, I'm trying to help you. And then Brad says, you're just like, you sound crazy right now, and you're really overreacting. I didn't do anything. I didn't have anything to do with this. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, I, you're really gonna have to calm down. So of course, then Eddie is like, look, I'm trying to help you out. Meet me at this location. He told him some location. In 15 minutes, I can help you out. Brad is like, dude, I'm not meeting you anywhere because I didn't do anything. So this part was a little confusing to me, simply because we know that Brad was doing something. You weren't digging and digging and digging, and it's not like a secret because you wouldn't tell Marcie exactly what you were doing. Why were you digging and you had nothing to do with this? Were you burying maybe your wedding ring? Like, what were you doing? What was so suspicious? Whatever the case, I don't know, but I guess we shall find out. Because right now he is the unlikely suspect. Anywho, so next thing you know, they get off the phone. Brad calls Marcie because he figures, oh, this is probably why she attacked me. She probably thinks that I really like kidnapped them or killed them. So he calls her. She doesn't answer. She's sitting down with Kelly and Esperanza, and she just suddenly gets sick. Now, we all know that Marcie has been getting just randomly sick since last season. Now, I am about 99.9% sure that Marcie is pregnant. And she probably doesn't even realize the symptoms. She probably doesn't think she's pregnant simply because she had been trying to get pregnant for so long, for years, with Randall, and it didn't work out. But if you guys remember that episode from like last season, or maybe it was the season before, and Randall was kind of trying to like make Alex jealous because she wouldn't sleep with him. So he purposely had sex with his wife, Marcie, in front of the window so that Alex could see. So, yes, I think that may be when Marcie got pregnant. But I'm pretty sure that it is Randall's baby. It's not Brad's baby because we know that Brad got snipped. So, whatever the case, that'll be interesting when we find that out. Also, because she is still in love with him. So she runs to the bathroom because she has pregnancy sickness. Okay, let me see my notes. Okay, so Esperanza and Kelly are still sitting on the couch. Of course, they feel bad for Marcie. Well, they're sitting on the couch, and Esperanza notices that Kelly has like 30 something missed calls on her phone, and they are all from Travis. And so Esperanza is like, girl, what is that about? So, of course, Kelly tells her, oh, he's been calling me nonstop. He's just been acting crazy with me. It's nothing. And she says, what do you mean nothing? Look, I'm tired of having to like pull information out of you. Just tell me. And I'm thinking the same thing because y'all seem to be going on for like 15 minutes for no reason. Okay, so then Kelly finally says, look, he was a little aggressive with me. He attacked me on the porch earlier tonight. And now he's been calling me, leaving crazy voicemails. I know him. It will pass. Esperanza is like, girl, you need to call the police. She said, no, it will pass. Well, what kind of things has he been saying on the voicemail? So then Kelly pulls up the voicemails. It's kind of hilarious to me because she listens to the voicemails. He's like, why aren't you answering my phone calls? Why aren't you answering? You need to pick up. And the next message is like, oh, Kelly, I love you so much. I love you so much. I'm just so sorry for what I did, what I said. Forgive me. My mind is all over the place. Kelly, you stupid witch. You better pick up this phone. I'm tired of you playing games with me. But like it's just going back and forth, and his voice is kind of like deranged. So Esperanza's like, he sounds crazy. Like, you really need to call the police. So then Kelly says, no, he will calm down. I know him. I'm like, Kelly, girl, you don't. Like, he is cuckoo. And then so Esperanza says, well, what kind of crazy voodoo sex did you put on him? Kelly said, it's not the time. It is not the time. I'm just saying. That's what everybody would think. Like, why is he so attached to you? But anywho, so then she finally drops that. Okay, so then we see Osteen with Lushion and Natalie at the hospital. So of course, Natalie is like crying and he's just trying to console her. And next thing you know, we see what's his face, a police officer, probation officer walk in. The probation officer walks in and he's talking to Natalie and he's asking how Joey is doing. This is when Lucian stands up and was like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute by yourself to the side?" Then he says, "Oh yeah, no problem." And he says, "Why are you here?" "Well, I'm here to check on Joey." "No, you're not. Why are you here?" So he says, "Well, look, witnesses said that they caught Joey with a gun. That violates his probation." Then Lucian said, "This is not the time." The probation officer, his name is Hardy, he says, "Look, I'm just doing my job. You should understand." Then he says, "Look, you don't even know if this boy is going to make it through the night. This is not the time. Have some type of sympathy, sensitivity towards the situation. She's grieving her son over here." So then he says, "You know what? It's all good. If he does pull through, he has to go to jail." Then Lucian says, "Look, don't test me, okay? Don't contact her. Don't come here anymore. If you have any questions or you need to get in contact with her, you contact me. This is my number. Don't call her." So Lucian is like big and bad bodyguard. He gets that situation under control. So then he goes back to Natalie. Natalie says, "What does he want? Does he want to take him to jail?" Then he says, "No, no, don't even worry about it." She says, "I know what he wants. You know, he calls me all the time. He's always trying to flirt with me. He's trying to get with me." So Lucian is like halfway like, "Girl, he's not trying to get with you. He's trying to put your son in jail." And the other part of him is like a jealous boyfriend. Like, "What? He calls you. Oh, I'm going to keep that in mind." Okay, anyway, so I thought that was like kind of cute, but whatever the case, he tells her, Lucian tells Fawn that, I mean, Lucian tells Natalie that the gun was actually registered to Fawn's father, and that is how Joey got the gun because Joey was actually just trying to protect Fawn because Fawn walks around with thousands and thousands of dollars because she picks up the deposits from all of her father's businesses. Well, Quan must have caught on, and that is why he was following her so that he could rob her, and Joey was just simply protecting her. Now, I don't know if the court is going to see it the same way. So Natalie is, of course, upset once again, and she's like, "You know what? We're out here and we're protesting in the streets against these police officers, but really, we need to be protesting against what's going on in our own neighborhoods. Like, we killing each other out here," which that is an argument that a lot of people have today. I think that should be concerned about both. But all good. Anyways, different subject, different video. Okay, so then next thing you know, Ben is at the police station. And so he gets a call from Julius. Julius is like, "Why haven't you called me?" And then he said, "Oh, Eddie has just been all over me." He was like, "What, like a jealous boyfriend?" He was like, "No." Man, he said, "Eddie is straight." And he said, "Oh, are you sure about that?" He said, "Yeah." And then I'm like, okay. Then so he's like, "Well, are you?" He said, "What are you talking about? I have a girlfriend." "That don't mean nothing." And then he was like, "No, I am too." He was like, "Yeah, right. Okay." So next thing you know, Julius is like, "Look, I want you to be on my team. You know, I got these drugs for you." He specifically says, "I want you." And then he says, this is my daughter. Anyways, he says, "I want you." Go downstairs, baby. Go downstairs. He says, "I want you." And he said, "What do you mean by that?" Julius says, "I want you on my team." Okay, so next thing you know, y'all gotta hurry up because now she wants to be in the video. You can't talk, baby, okay? Okay, so getting through this quickly, Eddie walks in, and then Ben just pretends like he's on the phone with his girlfriend to get off the phone. Okay, so now we go back to Alex's house. So what's her face? Aunt Viv, also known as Miss Diane. She calls Kelly to go off on her, like, "Look, you're not gonna be treating my son like whatever. We both know what he's in jail for, and you should be the one that's in jail instead. So you're gonna respect my son. Nobody cares about your child." And Kelly said, "Oh, hold on, you ain't gonna talk about my child like that." And then Aunt Viv says, "Well, look, you're not going to disrespect my son and keep hurting his feelings. So what you're going to do is the next time I call or the next time he calls, you're going to answer the phone and you're going to talk to him. And if you don't, we will see what happens. Okay? Test me." Okay, so hopefully Kelly's not stupid and she answers the phone. Okay, so now we get to the point in the episode where Alex is hitchhiking. She's trying to get a ride to apparently her parents' house so that she can try to find out what's going on with the baby. And so, like, a strange trucker picks her up and he keeps commenting on like how pretty she is and how she shouldn't be out here by herself. And then he says, "Don't worry, I'm not crazy. Just like if you were my daughter, I wouldn't want you to be out here. Where are you headed to? That's a strange town. Why would you go there?" She said, "Look, I grew up there." He's like, "Okay, whatever. I'll take you there." So she has arrived there. Okay, so next thing you know, we go back to Marcie in the bathroom. She's crying. And um, you got lipstick? Okay, you can't talk during the video, baby. Okay, so next thing you know, we have Esperanza and Kelly. They're sitting on the couch again. Then Esperanza breaks the news to Kelly that, yeah, Joey got shot and explains that whole situation. Then they start talking about Brad, and both of them can't believe that Brad was the one that actually committed the crime. They think maybe it's a little bit more to it because they don't suspect Brad of doing something like that. So then while they're talking about Brad actually calls Marcie. Marcie answers the phone. Then he says, "Look, Marcie, I know what's going on." And then she said, "Well, did you do it?" And he's like, "No, I can't believe that you believe I would do it." And then he was like, "Is that why you like hit me over the head with the bottle? Did you think I was attacking you?" She said, "Yes, but what else were you trying to do?" And then he says, "I was trying to kiss you." Like, she was like, "Well, why were you so rough?" And then he says, "Well, don't you like it rough? Cover your ears, baby." And she's like, "Look, whatever, that's beside the point. I think that you did it." Okay, whatever. And then she also says, "Well, you had red mud on your shoes." And he said, "Yeah, because it was new construction in the area I was in. That's why there was red mud." She doesn't want to believe him. So next thing you know, we hear the police in the background knocking on his door. He says, "Wait on the phone with me, Marcie." She says, "No, I'm good." She hangs up. He opens up the door for the police. The police come into his house to search his house. And he said, "Look, do you even have a warrant?" And then she says, they say no, but we have like probable cause. And they search and they immediately find the red boots and they put him under arrest for the disappearance of the baby and Randall. So we shall see what happens on next week's episode. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and check me out at mrsblogaholic.com. Bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.